we kind of lie a lot on the phone.
Well,
making,
I mean,
but I think our job is to a reasonable extent make it as believable as possible.
true.
As to suspend the fact that this might not actually be real. It's like if all of those, everything you had brought that day
Yes.
was fake, like I think no one would have been the wiser to say, oh, that's fake.
Yeah,
you know?
to identify that it was.
Yeah, and they don't grow this thing in Nigeria.
So I mean, they could have thought that we traveled out. Maybe
Yeah.
we went to Madagascar or
You know?
something.
Or someone just has that in their backyard somewhere. You know?
But it brings us to the issue of texture.
Yeah.
With art directing and then also cinematography. Because one of the things I believe that made us successful with creating that scene and making it believable was the fact that we searched for material, though synthetic, but looked as authentic as possible. However, if the lighting was wrong, it would have exposed
Yes.
the actual look of some of those leaves and things like that. Also, we combined what was synthetic with what was real in terms of the leaves and the vine and all that. But ultimately, the lighting helped to conceal certain aspects of the set dressing elements and enhance what was believable in a sense.
But to be honest, if I to be frank with you,
Yeah.
like lighting kind of exposes by default. It lets you see things. So I feel like you did a great job in the first place. So the lighting didn't really. I would say lighting. If you had gotten it wrong, the lighting would have exposed.
Yeah, of
So
course.
you did a great job. You're right in the sense that the texture it
True.
kind of enhanced the texture and the look of the
True.
image altogether. But the basic. The groundwork has already been done.
Yes.
If I didn't like that scene, I think it would have come out.
Yeah, no, let me just, blow his trumpet a bit for the sake of the viewers. I mean, he's done some work that has been awarded Grammys, music videos, and stuff like that. So there is a basic level of quality that we're talking about here, so provided that is achieved, then there's certain other things that obviously, if you are a novice and there's certain things you don't know, there isn't any amount of lighting that is going to help to conceal what you have wrongly provided, and then vice versa. If the lighting is wrong, then even if the set dressing elements are real, they aren't well enhanced in the look in terms of,
like I say this all the time, lighting is, for me, is the key ingredient. So,
it is.
Cinematography wise, it is. What we're doing at half times exposing an image. We're trying to let the audience, whoever is watching, focus on a certain thing. And that's just how we are built. We always look to the brightest part of an image.
The brightest part, yes.
Unless otherwise someone else is trying to do it the other way around, which is not. There are rules to these things, but no one says if you go in the other opposite direction that it's a crime. I was going to say earlier, picking up what I was trying to say earlier, that the plane is two-dimensional.
Yes.
And whatever story is, a commercial, a music video, film, feature, it's kind of governed within, everything happens within those boundaries, right?
True.
And most of the time, watching a movie and what you're seeing is art direction, it's production design, and the character within this frame, and which I can't say it enough how important art direction is, production design, because it kind of pushes you in the direction that these characters we on the screen are grown to love sometimes, or projects we are seeing. It kind of enhances what these stories we're telling are. Take, for instance, a film like Dune. If that film wasn't art directed, I don't think anyone would have seen it. That's what it's I'd say is known for. Very grand scale. Things were huge. That's what they were going for, and I feel like it worked.
But you know what was interesting about Dune also was how strict they were to the color palette.
Yes.
They obeyed that color palette throughout. You could pick a number of colors and you would see them repeated, consistently, but in a, I think the key with finding the right color palette is finding visual harmony. So, how the colors are combined in such a way that is pleasing to the eye, is not jarring, and then it's also enhanced.
Film was being developed back in the day, and how film stock in itself wasn't considered for black folk. It's like it was always developed for people of lighter skin, and whenever you showed up with a picture, you're dark skin. It wasn't like pleasing or anything.
I've heard about that, but not in
So do you know,
so much
do you know
detail.
what kind of turned that around?
No.
When furniture companies and chocolate companies were like insisting that their products needed to be lit better, needed to perform better in film stock.
So furniture became priority over black individuals. Wow.
So I say furniture is because you do a lot of
dark furniture.
You do, I mean, in production design, you do a lot of embellishing sets with furniture.
Yes.
So imagine like, how would that was more important back in the day.
Wow. It's so ironic. It's so ironic because it was new to me when I found out about that. All I've done is for black people. All I've done is for people of color. So I have always dressed sets for people of color. I've always art directed for productions that had people of color in it. So but obviously I've worked with a lot of foreign art directors and production designers, and then I started to learn more about their techniques and what they have gone through, their own journeys and things like that. And then I started to hear certain things, and I started to read up about certain things. It's quite interesting how filmmaking has evolved, over the years.
Even more so over the past few years, how digital is becoming more and more important in all the aspects. Everyone seems to be like the tools shouldn't be in the way. They should just help you get to where you're going. So everyone is kind of adapting, manufacturers, users, across the board.
They're paying attention now to the needs.
Exactly.
Specific needs of different, kinds of filmmakers, different kinds of stories.
Yeah, a lot of folks just want to be artists. They don't necessarily want to, like, speaking about that now, how cinematography is both an art and a science.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There is a technical side to it. There is a an art side to it because of expression, and the need to interpret it, in a way that
some people might say it's even more important to lean towards the art side of things than the scientific aspect of it. But I'd say it's best to have a bit of both, because the science would be the tools. Trying to figure out how to make the tools work for you artistically is why you're there in the first place as a cinematographer.
True.
So I'd say a bit of both. It would be hard to do one rather than the being science inclined. I would say that is where you don't want to be, because it's heavy on the art. You need to have that eye, and if you don't have it, you're literally just going to be just on science end of things, and that's not enough these days.
It's not enough.